Hi everyone, welcome to ClearPitch. My name is Murtaza. I'm a senior associate on our investments team on the American side at Clearco. So I've been at Clearco for about a year and a half now, and fun part of my job is to come across founders like we have today and listen to their business stories, what they're accomplishing with their businesses. And on that note, I want to welcome you to a very special edition of ClearPitch in honor of Earth Day. This ClearPitch is celebrating all entrepreneurs dedicated to making a positive impact in the world. With all the issues we face in the world, these founders have made it their purpose to promote sustainability and make a difference in the world's environmental and social landscape through their amazing products. I'm very excited to be hosting this alongside our awesome co hosts, A2X Accounting, Klaviyo, Shopping Gives, and EcoCart, who will be planting a tree for every application we received. So, over the next hour and a half, we'll hear from three exciting founders who have been selected as finalists to pitch their businesses based on innovation in their respective verticals, commitment to sustainability, and excellence in online performance. Speaking from experience, integrating sustainability across your products and processes is no easy task. So, kudos to all our participants and our finalists on the impact they continue to make with their businesses. So each finalist will have 10 minutes to pitch their business, followed by a Q&A from our judges. These awesome founders are Chrissy, founder of Love's Project. So Chrissy combined her love of travel with her experience in design and ethical sourcing to launch Love Is Project. They partner with female artisans across the world to create unique love bracelets. With each bracelet sold, Love Is Project fulfills its mission of empowering thousands of female artisans in developing countries around the world through fair wages, healthcare, education, and more, paving the way to a positive future ahead. Next up is Ian Bentley. So, Ian, after relocating to Ethiopia in 2012, Ian and his wife Brittany began working with vulnerable women, many of whom are forced to turn to exploitative work in order to provide for their families. Ian and Brittany felt passionate about creating safe, dignified employment for these women by supporting local and sustainable industries and inviting the world to celebrate the quality and beauty of premium Ethiopian leather, all through one initiative. And that's when Parker Clare was born. Next up, we have Helena and Pierre Anne from Unscented Company. So, founded by Annie, the Unscented Company is shaping the world of tomorrow, one that embraces a sustainable and profitable business model that prioritizes the common good. So, born in Montreal into a family of entrepreneurs, Annie founded the Unscented Company in 2016 with the goal of redefining the notion of clean products by offering a line of natural, unscented home and body care products. Her innovative products defy established norms and prove that efficiency can be synonymous with sustainability. So, a very warm welcome to our finalists. And now let's talk about the prize package that they will be pitching for today. So, the winning finalist will walk away with a variety of tools to put towards their business's growth and their company's overall mission, including a $15,000 cash award, a $5,000 credit on top of their first Clearco capital advance, a free carbon emissions audit and life cycle assessment of products from EcoCart, whereby they can understand their carbon impact and focus more towards carbon neutrality, social impact marketing audit and strategy session with Shopping Gives, and up to a $2,000 credit from Shopping Gives Shopify app Change Commerce, an inclusive SMS setup package with Elect IQ and SMS credits courtesy of Klaviyo, and a complimentary 12-month subscription with A2X Accounting. Moreover, they will get a one-on-one consultation with Clearco's investment team. So now let's bring in the judges. So first up, we have Callum Armstrong, who's the Content and Growth Manager for A2X Accounting. Hi, Callum, you're on mute.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So yeah, thanks for having us on board as a judge for this event. We're really excited to see the pictures. I've had a bit of a look at the slides on the back end, and it's really exciting to see three amazing companies. A little bit about A2X. We were founded in 2014 out of a problem that our founders were facing in another business, which was that when they were selling on Amazon, they were having challenges getting the right data into their accounting system. As I'm sure you know, you don't just get paid out your sales, but all the transactions and fees and returns and refunds come off that, which creates a really big data issue. So over the last 8 years or so, A2X has developed into serving about 12,000 e-commerce sellers and basically helping to turn an arduous task into just a few clicks. So without further ado, I look forward to seeing what's coming up.
Amazing. So making it more efficient for everyone across the board.
That's the one.
Something they hate, bookkeeping.
Yep. And it's so important. If you want to raise capital, if you want to sell your business, if you want to go to the bank for whatever reason, or to just make good decisions in your business, you need those numbers and you need them to be accurate.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's amazing. So next up we have Dane Baker, co-founder and CEO of EcoCart.
Everyone, thanks so much for having me. Really excited about this competition. It is definitely near and dear to my heart, as tomorrow is Earth Day. I realize that is we are currently in the Earth Day edition of ClearPitch, so it's an honor to be a judge here for you all. I'm really excited about some of the pitches. Again, we've gotten a quick look at some of these, and excited about all the hard work that's gone into the pitch itself, but also created the company. And we're excited to dig in a little bit further. For a little bit of context, EcoCart is a suite of solutions to create a sustainable shopping experience for your customers. And we do so by calculating the carbon footprint of a purchase, and then allowing your consumers to offset that carbon footprint at checkout by adding a few extra cents to their purchase if they so choose, and funding certified carbon offset projects like planting trees, building wind farms, etc. We have a whole suite of tools and solutions that help you create a sustainable shopping experience for your customers, like features throughout the whole shopping journey, like dynamic impact counters and banners and badges and messaging, etc., to really drive home that customer loyalty and everything that you all are doing to make the world a better place. And we're here to help support that through our software. So that's a quick overview about us. We are, again, planting trees for the event here, and excited to help for the winner as well, understand their carbon footprint through our carbon assessment process and platform. So that's a little bit about EcoCart, and again, super excited to be a judge here on the panel.
That's amazing, Dan. Love the work you guys are doing now, making the world a better place, giving the option to offset, and reducing our overall carbon footprint. And those who missed this earlier, EcoCart will be planting a tree for each one of the participants that participated in Earth Day's ClearPitch. So thank you, Dan. All right, next up we have Nicole, Ecosystem Marketing Manager at Klaviyo.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. Coming to you from Klaviyo. Klaviyo is a really incredible company. It was founded in 2012 with the goal of helping our merchants scale a business, right? We want to help creators do what they do best. And we actually just rebranded with a bunch of really amazing initiatives to kind of just hit home and re-clarify, what exactly our mission statement is. But ultimately, we're a unified customer platform that pulls together all of our customer data, email, SMS, under one solution, and works to make this data as actionable and accessible to every marketer, so that you're really in the driver's seat with every piece of data that you own, and you don't have to rely on third-party platforms who might change at any given moment to get your product or your service in front of an audience. We have about 90,000 of the fastest growing online brands working with us, and we work with them to help them automate highly personalized marketing resources so that they can unify all their customer data with pretty much no coding required. I think in boot camp, they make everyone open up a merchant account and do the practices of starting off your own flows. And it's a breeze and really like fun to work with, honestly, if you love that kind of design stuff. But we're really excited to offer an SMS setup package to the winner. That's going to be provided through one of our agencies, Electric IQ. And we will be throwing some SMS credits in there as well to help get you started and kind of showcase why SMS is such a valuable touch point and asset right now in the e-commerce industry.
No, thank you so much, Nicole. It's a pleasure to have you on board, and I'm sure like people can get a lot of like customer retention information out of you as well later on. So moving forward to now, I want to introduce you guys to Ronnie Sage, founder and CEO of Shopping Gives.
Thank you so much. I am Ronnie Sage, founder and CEO at Shopping Gives. Shopping Gives is a social impact commerce platform. We're enabling businesses of every size, from startup to public companies, to use our software to manage their cause, marketing, compliance, processing donations, and leveraging impact data throughout their entire business to create more values-aligned customer experiences and journeys, and doing well while doing good. I started this company after 15 years of digital marketing experience, working with top 100 digital retailers and billions of dollars in assets, and saw the challenges of working with nonprofits and creating corporate social responsibility partnerships and activations, and the compliance and regulation and the barriers to entry. And of course, as marketers, if there's no bottom line, there's no budget. It's really hard to have a double bottom line. And so with all of those challenges, we really broke down the complexities, democratizing, working with any 501c3 nonprofit. 1.8 million, we own that end-to-end relationship processing. 100% of that donation goes back to the nonprofit. We have a whole bunch of different tools and technologies, what we call our social impact stack for commerce, that enable you to integrate this throughout your customer journeys and flows. For example, you can have double bottom line control by product, by SKU, by variant, over who and how much you want to donate. So for Earth Day tomorrow, if you want to get live on our Shopify app, we can get you live in 15 minutes and giving back to our Earth Month Coalition to One Tree Planted. We have a full coalition with them. All those donations through us, if you're a 1% for the Planet partner, are considered donations for your 1% for the Planet contributions. We have a Cannabis Coalition for 420 yesterday and ongoing with incredible partners, really breaking down the barriers of what's happening with the war on drugs, for example. We have partnerships with some of the largest nonprofits that we can enable you to engage with and create more profitable and meaningful relationships with your customers. How we do that, for example, is if you want to pull back our data on who your customers are supporting on a one-to-one basis, you can then pull that data into Klaviyo and do a re-engagement campaign based on who your customers supported last time. Or if your customers support the environment, create a segment based on those customers, and then push a email to them based on those highest performing, highest value customers who support the environment. So 3 key areas: compliance and regulation is number 1. Number 2 is that integrated approach of impact throughout your entire customer journey. And number 3 is that data and attribution and measurement, integrating to your analytics, all that fun stuff to make smarter business decisions and more values aligned, higher converting customer experiences. And for the winner, they're going to get some credits with us. We're going to do an audit of their social impact strategy, and we're excited to be here today. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ronnie, for joining us as well. And again, thank you to all our judges for participating in this today. And next up, what we want to do is dive into our pitches. So first up, we have Chrissy, again, founder of Lovers Project. So Chrissy, over to you.
Hi, nice to meet you all. I'm Chrissy, founder of Lovers Project. Thanks for having me here. Lovers Project is a for-profit social enterprise that values people, planet, and profits. We create artisan-made love bracelets and accessories that fit every lifestyle. They make the perfect gift that gives back, but we're more than just a bracelet. I was told yesterday that I would be pitching today, so had less than a day to put this presentation together. Silka said that since I've been on Shark Tank, that hopefully this would not be too difficult to do. Our mission is empowering and giving artisans around the world economic opportunities and preserving craftsmanship and spreading the message of love. Here's a little brand video about the
What if I told you that this handmade bracelet is changing lives around the world? What started as just an idea has now grown into a movement, and people are noticing. This is the Love Is Project. It's even caused some thoughtful celebrities to share their own messages of love. I'm Chrissy Lamb, founder of the Love Is Project. In 2012, I left my corporate fashion job in New York City to move to Kenya. I wanted to help create jobs for women using my background and network in design and marketing. Immediately, I was inspired by the incredible beadwork of the Maasai tribe, and together, we created the original red love bracelet. Soon after, I took the first bracelet around the world with me and asked strangers what love meant to them. 50 countries later, I had captured hundreds of amazing love stories. It started with one tribe and one country, and today, Love Is Project works with over 2,000 female artisans in 10 countries. Each handmade bracelet is inspired by the culture and craftsmanship of each place. Their wages support their families, pay for school fees, and allow them to invest in additional income-generating projects. We give agency to the artisans we partner with to empower themselves. Because it's more than just a bracelet. It's also changing the way we work together, and it's a reminder to love others and be loved and to love the planet. So come be a part of the greatest love story ever told and share the love with Love Is Project.
So the problem here is lack of market access for female artisans, which has been exacerbated by climate change hardship in some of the countries we work in, as well as COVID-related tourism decline. And our solution, again, the artisan market space is over $1 billion. And, we're creating, right now we're creating market and to market trend right products and partner with mission aligned brands to scale. To give an example, here's a story about Helen, one of the Maasai artisans we worked with for over 5 years now. Previously, she was living hand to mouth, selling at the Maasai market, only graduated primary school, had 2 kids. And after working with Love Is Project, she now makes 15 times the minimum wage in Kenya, about $30 a day, and bought 13 goats, dairy cows, sells the milk, and also manages our Love Food Gardens and sells the vegetables, and is able to pay for the school fees for her kids. Picture Helen and multiply that by 2,000, and that's the impact we're having around the world. And here are some of the other stories from artisans, including Helen, about the impact we're having.
I met Chrissy 3 years ago when I only have 4 workers. Now, after working with Love Is Project, I have 300 workers. Grace Minkerang, Miguel Wimprumati Atuaji, where Lorva Yanengoru, Nalusina, Ngoru, Bonuitu, Erasaga Yokumbasa, Bunulendia, Maritala. Love Plus, let's help our school fees.
Yo por mi parte me siento contenta porque sí tenemos un salario justo, ya pude por lo menos trabajar, surgir, ayudo a mis hijos en sus estudios, entonces ese es el impacto muy importante en mi vida, que mis hijos salgan adelante.
Please continue to spread the love. I love Love Is Project.
This is how the Love Is Project is harnessing the power of love to change lives through our business model, through economic empowerment, social and environmental impact, and trend right products. We're working with over 10 countries. I started in Kenya, Indonesia, and Ecuador because they lay on the equator line, and it's symbolic to show how love connects us all. We've expanded to also work in Guatemala, Ecuador, Mexico, Bhutan, India, Vietnam, and Philippines as well. We have a work from home artisan model, so saves money on commutes and gas and reducing large factory carbon footprints. It benefits the family and community since the moms can stay home with their kids. Our team is also remote, so we work from home or and remote. So our eco initiatives and social initiatives, we really believe in giving back. We've donated over $150,000 towards conservation efforts, disaster relief, LGBTQ issues, and breast cancer, and more. During the height of COVID, we funded over 38 food gardens and livestock projects in Kenya, Bali, Bhutan, and India. We also funded a recycling project in Java. The initiative was to create recycling and clean up the village, and now it's grown to create over 12 jobs, and they've launched a cool festival of trash last month here. And so this is really for Java, and I thought this was really cool. So they're having everyone also clean up, and also it's like a competitive game. So that's artisans in Indonesia. And we have education initiatives in India. This is a really amazing regenerative farming project in Bali that we were able to fund. It's called Astankara Way, and it's from our profits from a collaboration we did with Claudie Pierlot, a European fashion brand. And so we're able to help educate younger generation Balinese to in the best practices and how to farm. And so in products, we have a new upcycled bracelet that was just featured on the Oprah's list and CNN last month. We partnered with a nonprofit, Ocean Soul in Kenya, which collects ocean waste, 140 pounds for every $20 sold. And I was in Kenya working with the artisans. They normally make art with the products, the flip-flops. They wash everything, and then we created an adjustable cuff bracelet for this. And we're working to collaborate with some other ocean conservation sites to help fundraise in the future with this type of product. Other eco products, we upcycle Ankoli cow horn and camel bone in Kenya. So we believe in a no waste philosophy. On the top left here is Julian Lennon, John Lennon's son. We did a collaboration with his foundation, White Feather, for a camel bone necklace. And we also have our natural seed beads, Tagua and Akira's heart bracelets from Ecuador that are made by the Quichua in Otavalo. They are one of our best sellers. In Mexico, we have some woven palm leaf bracelets that are made into rosaries. And in the Philippines, we have inlay pearl in Gemelina wood. We have future products in development in Indonesia with recycled wood beads, natural dyes, recycled glass, bamboo jewelry in collaboration with my architect friend, Pablo Luna, and more precious metals coming up. Our target market is socially conscious women over 30 in the United States, and we have expansion opportunities. We are doing customization and looking to grow that in Gen Z in college campuses, resorts, spas, yoga studios, corporate gifting, and charity partnerships. And we're also looking to grow our presence in museum stores and continue our European and Asia growth. As for competition, there are some big players in the charity bracelet space, such as Pura Vida, Lokai, 4Ocean, and a little smaller Lotus and Luna. I think they all do a great job, but we're more than just a bracelet. We also have an award-winning photo book and Spread the Love deck of cards. The photo book is the inspiration behind the project of definitions of love around the world from our artisans and supporters and collaborating photographers. And the deck of cards is the actionable item, how to spread love. And the bracelet's the vehicle. We have schools who buy our products for conflict resolution and anti-bullying. We are also in over 1,000 retailers in the US and internationally. We've done collaborations with a fellow Shark Tank company, Love Pop, and also actress Kirsten Bell's company, This Saves Lives. We're a top shop ranked on FAIR platform, and we have an 8.5 conversion rate. Normal industry jewelry standard is 3.6, and a sell-through rate of 99.8. Our financials, we've done over $7 million in gross total sales since 2017, which is approximately 300,000 bracelets. We're doing double-digit growth each year. We launched in 2017 with $450,000 in sales, and last year to $3 million in sales. We have 60% gross profit margins. Our customer acquisition, we have 35% return customer rate. Collaborative wholesale platform is about 25%. Paid social media is 10%. We have 85,000 social media followers on our platforms. So organic makes up about 10% and direct is 5%. Besides Shark Tank, we've been featured on the Oprah list 3 times, Paris Vogue, Good Morning America, Today's Show, and the Forbes list, amongst others publications. And I had unsolicited celebrity endorsements from Anne Hathaway, Jeff Bridges, Brooke Shields, and the creative director of Gucci, Alessandro Michele. Our operations team is lean and mean. It's myself and my mother. She is CFO in operations, and we were featured as one of 3 women-owned companies for Women's Month by Facebook last year. We have a fulfillment center in Los Angeles that's pretty full service, and they do our customer service, backroom operations, and some web dev as well. We're about to onboard some showroom reps to help us grow our sales, so I don't have to do all the trade shows myself. And we have a freelance digital marketer. For capital needs, what I would use the grant for would be for product development and production for some of the new eco products I listed earlier, hero product expansion, book reprints, and also for data-driven marketing and testing some new trade shows in new markets. So over the past 5 years, we've seen verifiable impact with these communities we work with. We would love to be able to scale that to impact not just these thousands of lives, but maybe tens of thousands, if not millions more like Helen. Thank you so much for your support and listening.
Chrissy, thanks so much for sharing that. That was an amazing story, like especially leaving your job from fast fashion, using that design thinking, and then creating, I don't know, such an impact across like multiple geographies. That was amazing, and incorporating like different sustainable initiatives across your product line, upcycling, recycling products, and all that. That was truly an inspiration to hear. So I'm gonna move this to our judges now, who have some questions on the business. So starting with Calumet.
Hey, that was a really inspiring presentation. I particularly love the local focus you have on using homegrown materials, which obviously reduces the shipping impact and also makes it a lot easier to nurture the wider community in the areas where you're working. As far as the market size and growth potential goes, do you know the size of your market and potential audience, and a realistic idea of what proportion of that market you're looking to capture in the coming years?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the accessory space is it's huge, and I think also customization by 2025 is supposed to be a $41 billion market. We get a lot of custom orders, so I think there's a lot of opportunity to expand, and our majority of our orders are in the United States now, and we're looking to join another fair-like platform in Asia, and also do some other expansion in Europe. So I think we're just getting started.
Fantastic. And out of the expansion to other regions, how much of your current strategy and approach can be dragged and dropped and replicable versus other elements that might need to be customized for different regions?
So currently everything is created in these countries and shipped to our fulfillment center in Los Angeles, where we can add on even additional customization like laser printing, stamping, inserting photos and like lockets and whatnot. But if we grow and things are better, like we potentially could look at a fulfillment center also in Indonesia and like be able to service the Asian market without having to ship things back and forth and reducing our carbon footprint that way.
Awesome. Thank you.
So thank you so much for this really fascinating presentation and amazing company. So congrats on all the success so far. It's really exciting. So what I found to be really interesting and inspiring really was your good for the world focus and how you build product and how that ethos kind of extends into everything that you're doing and the products you build and obviously your customer acquisition as well. And how what I found to be incredibly fascinating is the split of your acquisition. And it looks like your biggest channel is really repurchase from customers who come back and love the product and want to repurchase with you. And so I think that really shows product market fit, which is really exciting. And then I also found interesting is that a small minority percentage of your acquisition comes from paid acquisition. And so I'm just curious, how are you thinking about that split as you move forward, as with everything that's happening in the paid space today, but also with the opportunity to really accelerate that main channel of yours, which is repurchase or just general organic referrals?
Yeah, so we started off as a D2C company. We've kind of pivoted and switched over a little bit more to wholesale the past couple of years because, again, customer acquisition costs, Facebook, Instagram has gotten more expensive. And so for us, it's like to diversify our channel. That's really important. And I think also face-to-face, like so much of our company is about connection, in-person connection. So by actually speaking with people versus just having like an Instagram ad, really is, I think, more effective too.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. Last question on my side is, as you think through, the next few years into growth, it looks like you're growing at a really, impressive clip. I'm curious, how are you thinking about, having the supply side of the business really kind of maintain, as you kind of think through, what if next month or next year you sort of 10x your growth? How are you thinking about the supply side of your business and how that scales alongside your demand?
I think, with that, we're also watching how our ROAS does, on paid ads. Like, if we can scale and we can be like, okay, like this is how much inventory we need to plan for. Same with also our wholesale business. I think it really just depends. Like we test products, like, we'll launch something new, we'll see how it does. And if it really gets some traction, that's when we can really double down on like, okay, like how are we going to scale this specific product, and if it doesn't do well, then, back to the drawing board, let's try to figure out something else that might do better. So yeah.
Awesome, Chrissy. Thanks. All the questions on my side. Appreciate your time.
Hi, Chrissy. Really, really well done. That was such an enjoyable pitch to watch. I'm really excited to see what you guys do with the product and where you take it in the future. I'm a really, really big fan of upcycled products, and I think it's really amazing what you're doing, especially with ocean found products to create new accessories and give them a second life. So I really, really commend you on that. I'm curious because you, coming from the partnership space, you mentioned a variety of partners and avenues that you use to distribute your product. I'm curious, based off of your analysis, where have you seen the most success revenue-wise so far?
Well, we've actually seen a lot of opportunity in the customization space. Because, from other resorts and spas and words, names, we can do bulk orders, and we have different countries we can source from and work with different groups. So I think there's a huge opportunity there, from college campuses. Weddings are huge too. We've also, so I think, that's one of, and for brands, corporate gifting, I think customization is huge. And that's what one of the things we're really focused on.
That's really amazing. So given that feedback, like how do you plan to optimize where you selectively choose to spend your time, especially considering that you're such a lean team?
I think we have a couple of the core countries that's doing the majority of our production, like Indonesia and India, Kenya, and then Ecuador and Guatemala are next up. So I think we're really focusing on those countries that really can deliver and scale those first. So
amazing. Well done. Thank you so much.
Hey there. So great questions from our fellow judges. Hit a lot of them, but as you look at acquisition of customer, that attribution that you're following that customer, how do you see them kind of that journey? Where are you seeing the density of customers come in through? Is it through the third parties or wholesale? And how do you track and measure that back to your D2C channel? Is that part of your goals, is to acquire them back to your D2C channel?
Yes. So yeah, we have analytics. We're on Source Medium to kind of just see how effective different channels are. And then, we see like, okay, if Facebook's performing or Pinterest isn't or something, we pull back on spend on different channels. And then we also analyze all the trade shows we go to as well to how, what the ROAS is for all that as well.
Awesome. So are you seeing customers go from like a wholesale account and then come back to online? Do you have any tracking between those, or let's say a third party? I don't know if you're on Etsy, for example, and then come and repeat purchase directly to you.
Sure. Yeah, we are on Etsy, on Amazon. We do have smaller buys on that side, but I don't know if we can actually track to see if people are coming in from Etsy and in shop, then Shopify after. But we do, like with wholesale, we have Shopify Plus, and so people can just sign on and seamlessly order on auto, from our website. So we don't have to, it's like not high touch.
Awesome. Do you have a loyalty program today?
Yes, we do. We have Loyalty Lion. That's the app we're using for that. And then we also have an affiliate program through Reversion and Share a Sale, which I think there's opportunity also to grow more. I haven't had the bandwidth to work on that. So.
Great. And then what do you think about licensing?
I think this is really interesting to explore. I think it does cost quite a lot of money. So I know it works really well, I think, for loci. But I think you'd have to make sure like you're selling enough product to make it work. But I think there's some workarounds too. You can do certain things with like colors or school colors or different type of things, but that are not related to an actual word. But I'd like to explore that too.
Great. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you for sharing your story, and thank you, judges, as well. So, on to our next finalist. So, I'm really excited to introduce you all to Ian Bentley, founder of Parker Clay. I've actually had the pleasure of speaking to Ian before and hearing about Parker Clay's story itself. So, excited for you all to actually hear it through Ian's words himself. So, to you, Ian.
Thanks, Murtaza. It's great to see you. And yeah, thanks for having me here. Excited to be able to share a little bit with you guys about Parker Clay and where we started. We actually started, my wife and I, in 2010. We started having our family, 2 kids. My sons, Parker and Clay, hence the name. And we started looking into adoption for our third and looked at a lot of different countries and came to this alarming statistic. There were over 140 million orphans in the world. And it kind of stopped us in our tracks where we went, what if one of those were Parker? What if one of those kids were Clay? And as any parent would do, you would stop everything. You would do whatever it takes to provide for your kid. And that really changed our perspective, taking this huge statistic and making it very personal and real for us. And so that would ultimately lead us to Ethiopia to adopt our first little girl from there in 2011. And less than a year after bringing our daughter home, I was standing at the airport with my entire family, having sold everything we own with one-way tickets to move our family to Ethiopia. And it was there that we started Parker Clay, which is an amazing story, an amazing company that we have put our heart and soul and passion into, and where we believe that we can make a better bag that's making a better world. What we know about the fashion industry is that it's broken. For decades and for a long time, consumers have chosen to look for fast fashion, right? Which is just like we've realized with fast food, it's not good for you. And this is not only exploited people, it's exploited the planet. And we just know this is not going to work. This doesn't continue to happen. It can't continue to happen anymore in this world. And when Brittany and I were in Ethiopia, we were working with a group that was helping women out of prostitution and out of trafficking. And the biggest thing, and one of the reasons why when we moved over there, we heard over and over again was, please don't come and be a burden, which was the most honest answer to those questions. It was come and create opportunities. And we were looking at these women who yet were asking to create opportunities to provide for their families that were so strong, so resilient. And so when we moved there, we started making hand-woven scarves and things like that, but quickly realized that some of the scalability, which ultimately means sustainability, wasn't there. And it happened really by chance where we were looking for a birthday gift for my wife and stumbled across a leather bag in Ethiopia. And in the bag, it said made in Ethiopia. And it really kind of surprised us because we just weren't expecting to see it. And it led us to ultimately a tannery where we started looking around and really kind of looking at the whole industry. But when we went to the tannery, the owner was loading a shipping container with leather. And when I asked him where he was sending it, he goes, oh, I'm shipping this off to Italy today. And that completely stopped us in our tracks, thinking, if this material is good enough to go to Italy, and here we have this group of women that are looking for opportunities, looking for jobs, if we can create this in Ethiopia, we can do so much better. And so really, we wanted to build a better way and better bags, better production that ultimately would make a better world. And it's going really well. And we, really have realized that supply chain control is a huge part, right? Any, quick search of fashion and supply chain is going to load your space with different queries of all the issues around supply chain. For example, we had a customer come to us last week that was looking for 1,000 units of one of our bags. And they needed it quickly within the next month. We were able to say yes to that order, and we're actually shipping it out next week because we have access to the market where the material is sourced from. We can deliver it in days, not years. And this helps so much with waste, with overall our control over the market. And because we're primarily direct to consumer, we have a lot more control of who our customers are and where they're coming from. We were also the #1 exporter of leather goods from Ethiopia to the world, and this has been 2 years running. We're really excited about what we can do and the opportunities that are there. Ethiopia is one of the largest countries in the world, really, and it's one of the fastest growing. It's certainly one of the fastest in Africa, and tremendous opportunity, tremendous potential that we see there. We know that the conscious consumer is alive and well, right? This is no longer a moment, it's a movement. And these consumers are willing to spend more. The market is over $150 billion for sustainable products. And not only is there a desire for these products, there's also a huge sense of loyalty that goes along with it when you buy it. And so we see that in our products, where it not only impacts our first purchase, but the repeat purchases and people coming back. And 95% of them are also willing to refer their purchases to friends and to family, and it leads to a huge opportunity. The market size, if you think about a lot of the big fashion brands of the world, really they've started with 2 distinctive pillars. It's either been in footwear or handbags. And so we were really strategic in building this, as we want to impact millions of women's lives, is placing our pillar around handbags. And it just so happens that some of the best material in leather comes from Ethiopia. But this market is huge. The US represents about 1/3 of that. So there's obviously a lot more opportunity globally beyond just the US market, which is not a small market in and of itself. We position ourselves really in this high quality, high impact quadrant. Believe deeply from the founding of this company that we don't need to compromise on the product or the people. And that was always something from day one that we wanted to integrate with Parker Clay, was that we can create a world's highest quality product and also create some of the biggest impact possible. And then we don't need to compromise on either one. And so we're in a big arena with a lot of different players. And we really feel like we're leading that space. We're 100% made in Ethiopia, really going beyond the direct to consumer model here, where we are completely vertically integrated in our supply chain. We're manufacturing at the source, where the material's from. We have a factory of over 200 employees, of which 80% are women. And that goes all the way up to our leadership team. We're able to, because we have our own factory, go above and beyond in terms of our living wage. We have a savings program for our women. We have a cafeteria that has incredible food, by the way, if anybody ever wants to visit. We have, for the first time really in some of our employees' lives, it's the first time they've ever had a savings account, where they're now able to save. The bank that we work with is actually called Anat Bank. And it's an incredible bank. Anat in Amharic, the Ethiopian language, means mother. And so we're really intentional all the way down to every detail to ensure that we're doing it the right way. Because we're local in Ethiopia, we also have access to do all kinds of fun things. For example, we've partnered with the local city administration and a local school to plant trees. And so we are actually directly planting trees at a high school, working with the local high school students to teach them about the importance of the environmental impact of their backyard. We've been able to provide PPE during the pandemic for local frontline workers. And we're also a proud B Corp, where just last year we were ranked in the top 5% of all B Corps around the world, which we're really proud of and proud to be part of that community. We've had some incredible celebrity partnerships. We were just on the Drew Barrymore show yesterday, sharing our products, and we've done some product collaborations, which is really exciting. And we have some others in the works that we're also excited about. We've had some incredible PR and headlines that we've made. Again, there's such a movement, and it's so important around being able to talk about people, planet, and how we're impacting that. And people want to look good at the same time, and we can do that for them. Our customers are everything. Just, it's always about people. One of the women that I love dearly, she's local here in California. Her name is Leslie, and her son was going through cancer treatment, and a group of women came around her to buy her one of our bags. And she said that while I'm wearing this bag, essentially, I know the women that have my back. And not only that, she knows the women who made these products are also creating that sort of an impact. So just this incredible customer journey that we're able to have. We have a global team, like I said, of over 200 people, from California all the way to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, some of the best and brightest, most talented people in the world. We have been primarily direct to consumer. Certainly the last 2 years, if you're in paid advertising, has been interesting. But we have been able to maintain a low CAC, and our first purchase is profitable. We know who that customer is, and they have an incredible LTV of 15x. So we are seeing more and more people come back. So at that CAC, we obviously have a higher AOV, but this is leading to really a lifetime of loyalty. Since the beginning, we've been able to grow our business significantly. Last year, we did just over 5 million in sales, and a lot of our early stage investment was around creating the infrastructure, creating the system, creating the factory, and that is really something we're excited to now lean into and take advantage of. Again, most of our business is direct to consumer. We're just now starting to step out into some wholesale opportunities. Corporate sales have also been really exciting for us, and so we believe we're just stepping into something really exciting in this coming year, especially as more people get out and travel too. And so really, our path of growth and what we do with this investment is to continue to invest in scaling our sales and marketing. We're going to continue to increase our operational and production capacity in Ethiopia. We actually just got access to a new facility, which we're only using about 1/5 of our capacity in Ethiopia, and we just doubled that. So we're really excited about the growth, the employment opportunities, and we also have expanded into retail footprints. We now have 4 physical brick and mortar retail stores that are doing 4x growth over last year. So we're really excited to step into that more, and also to be able to engage with our customer face to face is something that we're really excited about. Thank you guys. Excited to be here, and look forward to the questions.
Ian, thank you again. It's always lovely, to go over your story again, and it's true inspiration, especially like the sacrifices you made, you and your family both, to make this happen. So I'm going to bring in the judges as well. They have a few questions. Let's start off with Ronnie.
Hey there. Fantastic story. I'm a father of 3 now. I had my last child, my 3rd son, last week. So I'm on paternity leave.
Oh, congrats.
After this. So I love the story of your children, man, and that it's called, named after your kids. It's fantastic. And building something for your family is beautiful. Talk to me about your channel acquisition strategy, and as you look out from a distribution perspective, and what your thoughts are. It looks like you're very highly dense in direct to consumer right now. Do you have plans to do distribution? Or, what does that look like?
Yeah, I'm so glad we've been direct to consumer. Obviously, the last couple of years with our wonderful changes in acquisition and Facebook and Instagram and Google and Apple, we've varied that up a little bit. But we've been able to adjust and do really well with those adjustments. We've been able to lower our CAC. We've been able to increase our AOV by a lot. So many little dials and adjustments that we've been able to do because of the rich data on D2C. But as such, we also really have only dipped our toes into some very boutique wholesale opportunities. We've gotten really more inbound requests on it. We've kind of held back. And partially because I wanted to ensure the sustainability of our manufacturing was there. And now we've got a tremendous capacity and potential to be able to say yes to some of those things. We also do corporate sales. So we've gotten some partnerships with like American Express and Delta, where they've brought us into events to do special things. And a lot of it's storytelling, right? Because it's also, they want impact with the stories and the products that they want to give out to customers or employees. And then our retail channel, I would say, is something we're really excited about, especially hopefully post-COVID.
How many locations do you have?
We have 4 of our own. These are our own retail stores. We started in Santa Barbara, and now we've got 3 others that we've opened up. And those are going incredibly well. And again, part of the strategy is because we have the data from direct to consumer, we know where our customers are. So we're able to see lifts in those retail locations because we know our customers are there, and we absolutely can track it back even to e-com. So it's lifting our e-com, and it's creating more opportunity in those retail locations. So we're going to keep pressing into that as well.
Love it. Remind me what your LTV was.
Our LTV is, well, we look at it about over a 3-year course, and it's over 600.
600. So you're looking at 150 AOV. You're looking at about 4 purchases over the lifetime of 3 years.
Exactly.
What
exactly?
Okay. Within that first year, what does that repeat customer look like?
Usually coming back almost 1.5 times, but we've actually been testing a lot more in trying to get them to come back within the first 30, 60, 90 days, because that I think is a really important metric. And so we're starting to see by some of the testing that we're doing to get them to come back within that first 30 days really proves a much stronger lifetime.
How many SKUs do you have?
We've got about 200,
Wow.
obviously some different colors, but that's another part that's also really critical, again, from a sustainability standpoint, really understanding what's selling through. And we've gotten some great people on the team from, a number of big brands that have been able to bring a lot more strength to that. So we try to kind of wean away from certain things that aren't, but the beauty of our brands and products is they're fairly evergreen. So some of our best sellers have been best sellers for years because we create a product that lasts, and it also kind of has more timeless beauty to it.
Yeah. Who would you consider your competitors, that direct competitors, like in the space of, like, obviously you're not fast fashion, you're you have the Gurkhas of the world, which are the super high fashion. You have the Coaches, Tapestry brands, one of our partners, and where do you fall in that spread?
Yeah, and Tapestry has a lot of them, right? And I think in a lot of ways those legacy older brands are trying to step into this space more and more. But I think that Africa obviously is a huge opportunity where so much growth has really not even been talked about, which is crazy to me. But there are those kind of bigger Kate Spades, Coaches, the Madewells of the world that are in these spaces. And they take up a lot of the percentage of those sales. But consumers are looking for different. They're looking for something that's more authentic. They don't want to compromise on the quality, but they also want something that's obtainable and that's reachable. But that's why we have such a high LTV, is that when people discover it, the number one thing we hear is, "I can't believe I haven't heard of you guys." So we joke internally as a team, like we got to let people know about Parker Clay because it seems like it's been just really the one of the secrets in the fashion space.
Yeah. What's your number one challenge right now? What keeps you up at night?
Oh, that's a good question.
Other than your kids.
Yeah, well, because they keep me up at night, that creates other challenges. I care a lot about the people that we get to work with, and I want to create more opportunities. I have 2 adopted daughters from Ethiopia. Every time I go back, I see more women that are working on the streets. And every time I see that, it really it stokes that fire, because I know right now, literally right now as we're talking, it's the night in Ethiopia. And I know the choices that women are going to have to make every day to provide for themselves and their family, that are sacrificing, so much. So, that's the number one challenge, is how do we create more opportunities for those women? That's it.
Awesome. That's my last of my questions. Congratulations on your success and what you're doing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hi, Ian. Wow, Ronnie is a tough act to follow, but I'll do my best to keep it interesting. Congratulations again on all your success. I think what you're doing, especially with how your entire business model is vertically integrated, is amazing, and really is just like one of the check boxes for sustainability and what we look for. I'm curious, so you mentioned that you see a lot of loyalty amongst your customers, and I'm curious, like, what strategies you currently put in place to get those results, and how do you plan to scale that?
And we didn't rehearse this ahead of time, but Klaviyo is a big part of that. I think yeah, the ability to have some of that own media, right, where we know we can continue to speak to someone. So with every product we sell, because we've got our own factory, we have so much more of an opportunity to speak into that. So we look at hours of empowerment for every bag that we create. We can track that by each product. And so there's even excitement on the consumer level to say, hey, you came back and bought another bag. That's one thing we're working on, is how we can even share more of that with our customers, to say some of those most loyal, you've created hundreds of hours of empowerment for women in Ethiopia. And I think people want that. Today we're shopping our values more than we ever have, right? The shirts that we're wearing, the clothing that we're wearing, the bags that we're carrying. We want to know where they're made, how they're made, and how people are treated behind it. And so that sense of loyalty, I think, comes with being able to demonstrate the truth right behind those things. And that's something that we can continue to give insights and visibility into our factory behind the scenes and things like that. There's all kinds of little tools and things that obviously we use, from loyalty programs and and the email frequencies and inviting referrals and friends like that. Those are all things that are standard, but the substance behind it, I think, really is the brand story and the values that we hold.
Yeah, I love how you stay true to that authenticity piece. It's super inspiring. I'm curious, with the focus that you have on quality and leather goods, product wise, do you plan on using any of the earnings to expand your product line as far as outside of handbags, or do you plan to stick true to that initial image, that initial kickoff within this space?
Yeah, I mean, for right now, the focus is certainly on the handbags. Definitely looking at some of the other peripheral pieces. There's also some incredible hand loomed organic cotton products that are coming from Ethiopia. We continue to innovate within the leather space. For example, we just launched a zero waste collection, which we're utilizing all of our scrap leather and making these incredibly beautiful woven bags that are so high fashion, so beautiful. And that's a big part of it too, is not, sometimes there is a tendency to want to just immediately jump to something different or new, but it's what are we fully utilizing what we have? And so that's an example of just something we literally just launched, and people love it, right? And that just brings the customer back even more. So there's so much we can do within that space is what we currently look at.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Hey, Ian, thanks so much. What an awesome company you built. And I know you mentioned that some people don't hear about Parker Clay, but I certainly have, and a lot more recently. It seems like actually on Friday, specifically very, very recently, someone mentioned to me Parker Clay was. We were in an Uber going to a restaurant, so it's funny.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, I certainly have heard you guys, and coincidentally, I'm also from Ventura, California, so I know Santa Barbara well.
Oh, you're very close. Love it.
You got it. Yeah. So, thanks so much for the awesome presentation and an overview of the story. I also love the tech that you're using, whatever that is, where you can show yourself and the slides is awesome.
Pretty fun.
Yeah. So questions on my side. So the first is around, I think that you're really dealing with a ton of consumer and market tailwinds with consumer demand for conscious products, like you mentioned. And so I'm just curious how you're thinking about with your new focus into corporate partners, wholesale, and retail. I know you mentioned you own those retail locations, but for maybe, wholesale and corporate partners more specifically, how are you thinking about maintaining your story? Sometimes it can be hard to sort of maintain that authentic story when you don't own that channel and communication with your customers. And sometimes, some really strong story brands lose that authenticity as they scale. So I'm curious how you're thinking about that.
Yeah, really good question. That's why we haven't stepped into it yet, because we want to make sure that is paramount, right? Whatever we do. So we just started talking with a few specific wholesale accounts, very aligned, very much want to tell our story. And that's right when we know the timing is right to be able to do more of that with people who understand it and get it. So, we've done a few partnerships and things like that. Again, always aligned, because that magnifies the story, right? It gets us continue to focus on the right areas, the right places. I mean, and that goes on even like influencers we work with, right? And things like that. I think you have to be really, really careful and strategic, because it's very quick to try and make a fast, easy growth plan. And then people get confused, right? Who is your brand and what are you about? So we've been really careful. I think sometimes there's an eagerness to grow, right? And in our end, we want to grow because we want to create more impact. Just like I said earlier, like I want to create more jobs for women. But you got to do it the right way, and you got to do it a bit slower at times in order to make that work. And so, I think that's been very intentionally done. Sometimes not as fast as I would like to, but it's always got to stay true to our values and who we are.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Last question on my side, similarly related, I think is, I was really impressed with your LTV numbers, especially as it relates to, your customers coming back and repurchasing multiple times. So thinking about how much leverage and almost magnification you can have on your acquisition, how, realizing that, has that changed your strategy in any way as you think about acquisition, maybe willingness to spend more in different channels or being more exploratory with channel spend? Curious how you're thinking about that as you now, with that realization of just how much, how many times your customers come back and repurchase with you.
Absolutely. And that's where I think the wholesale channel for us is interesting to explore. I mean, usually like that is, I think for a lot of brands, it's the first thought, but I think for us, we're kind of adding that on after. And we know really the omni-channel effect of our retail stores online, and what we believe some of these wholesale accounts will do is create just an even stronger lift, right? There's going to be more demand. And the other thing about our products, like we have about 1% of our products are returned, meaning like customers keep their products. So we also have very low returns, which from an environmental standpoint, we have less product going back and forth as well. And so that's another really important piece, is along with that high LTV and retention, it's just people love our products. And so it really is a strong fit for that. So, yeah, I mean, I think that does open up the opportunities to explore more. Obviously, capital usually is the barrier to being able to say yes to some of those things, but that's where we're headed.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ian. Really appreciate the time, and again, congrats on all the success. Thank you. Yeah, look forward to seeing you around town.
Hey, Ian. I really like the point you made about thoughtful growth. When you find a product market fit, it's really tempting to go, proverbially speaking, all hell for leather into growth, when, like you said, sometimes that can dilute the story. So it's great to see that you're keeping that up. I've got a few questions around your supply chain and how this looks as you scale up to larger heights. So firstly, what's the production life cycle like as far as sourcing from firstly, are you doing the tanning in-house, or is that outsourced to a factory? And if you go from the life cycle of securing the leather to production to shipping to being in the source to the end user, what's the time frame like, and does that cause any barriers to being able to provide more stock to the market? Earlier on, you mentioned how you were able to supply 1,000 unit order, for example, which is quite impressive at short notice. So yeah, how does that life cycle fit into your operations?
Yeah, great question. So Ethiopia has a population of over 100 million people. 90% of the population essentially lives agriculture, like lives rural, lives off the land. It's got the 6th largest population of livestock in the world. So a lot of this is to fuel the agriculture companies to fuel the food industry. And so this is a byproduct of essentially the food industry, where a lot of this would be waste. I've been in rural Ethiopia many, many times, and I've seen some of these families. I've seen some of them literally tanning hides in the backyard over a tree, because why waste it, right? They're going to go sell it at the market, make some belts or do something like that. It's really an amazing opportunity to create economic stimulus for a lot of these people. So, you've got a huge population though of these livestock, and it's fascinating. Right now, this weekend is Ethiopian Easter, and a lot of Orthodox Christians will fast leading up to that moment, and then after Easter, there's a huge influx of the byproduct. It's just the way that things work there. And so, you've got some ebbs and flows in the market. It's not like it's always constant. And one of the things that we did early on was we hedged our risk on some of those pieces, whether it be quality or timing of those events. And we've invested in raw material. So we've also in stock, we've got, significant amounts. Where a lot of our early investment has gone is to invest in the raw material so that we have buffers to prevent, from some of these, kind of fluctuations in the market. We work very closely with multiple tanneries. We've actually been part of a green initiative around tanning to continue to push for more of positive environmental impact in those spaces. And because we're the largest exporter of leather goods from Ethiopia, we, really are able to predict and plan, and we do it kind of a quarter at a time, where we plan ahead with what we need, looking at the demand, and it is scalable significantly because of the relationship and also the intimate knowledge of on the ground in Ethiopia with what we can do. So between raw material, between knowing the market, the relationships we have, we really have a scalability of probably 10x what we're doing right now at the moment if we wanted to.
Fantastic. And what proportion of your shipments are going via sea freight versus air freight? Because that obviously adds on quite a bit of cost, but I noticed that your shipping cost is higher than a comparable opposition product. In short-term deliveries, such as the bulk order, do you find the need for air freight, or have you pretty much eliminated the emissions from that?
So 100% air freight right now. Just it's been the way that we've been doing it. We also have a unique relationship with Ethiopian Airlines. It's the largest airline in Africa. And our factory is located right, a few miles away from the airport. So it's really strategic location. And, if you talk to a lot of people who've been doing imports from Asia recently, the shipping container costs have gone astronomically high this last year. So actually our air freight has been almost more competitive than some of those container costs. So currently it's not a problem, but long term, as we do things even further out, especially with wholesale, right? We have more time to load a container and ship it. Those are all things that we'll be able to do. We also keep stock here in California. We have our own warehouse where we do fulfillment. And so we've got kind of multiple options on both sides.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, judges. So next up, see you, Ian. Next up, we have Helena and Pierre Anne from the Unscented Company.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Helena. I'm the marketing director at the Unscented Company. We're coming a bit from more up north. We're located in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, but we're really excited to be along such a nice panel of people. And congrats to Chrissy and Ian for their great pitches. It was really inspiring. As you'll see, our model, our strategy is a bit different, so I think it will be complementary. And I'm with my colleague, Pierre-Anne, who's the community and marketing project manager. So the Unscented Company, our mission is to redefine the notion of clean and contribute to the worldwide movement aiming to eliminate single-use plastic packaging. That's what we keep in mind every day, and it's part of our DNA. It's part of everything we do. The company was actually founded by Annie Rouleau, who actually, big disclaimer, she would have loved to be here today and do the pitch, but she's on a plane right now to Vancouver for our first trade show since 2020. So really excited to be going back in person. So bear in mind, we'll try to follow her footsteps. We'll do the best that we can. We work side by side every day. So at the Unscented Company, we manufacture a full line of exclusively unscented, natural home and body care products.
We are also a proud certified B Corp since 2015. What does it mean for us? It's like we are making sure to have a positive impact on every part of the company. So on our local community, on our employees, and mostly on the environment. And for us, like being a B Corp, concretely is locally made first. So we are really proud that 84.5% of our purchases come from privately owned Canadian business. And also having a positive impact, we are offering all our products, in fact, are refillable or solid, so people can really reduce their impact on the environment. And on another side, we are a woman-owned business. So we believe in ethical female leadership, and we're proud to say that 12.6% of our purchases come from woman-owned businesses. And finally, for us, having a positive impact on our community is giving our employees the opportunity to volunteering. So each employee in the company has the chance to give their times 20 hours per year. And we are also giving 0.5% of our sales to a local organization here in Montreal, which is Share the One. Building a strong community is really a big part of our marketing strategy, because the community for us is what makes us stronger, bigger, and creates our story. Added to that, we are also doing a lot of PR, because this allowed us to share the company story, our values, our mission. And just a quick mention that we've been part of the Canada's top growing company for the last 2 years. Also, I would like you to meet Alexandrine. Alexandrine is our aspirational shopper. So she's 30 years old. She's looking for brands that meet her values. And because she's looking to have a positive impact on her environment, but also on her body, she's really open-minded, and she will really look and do some research to find the perfect brands that will meet their needs. And we are really proud to meet their needs by offering her different type of solutions.
So how do we help Alex reduce her plastic footprint? So we do offer, this is really what differentiates us from our competitors, but we do offer refill options and reusable bottles for all of our liquid products. So you just buy the bottle once, and then you can refill it for your entire life if you want to. And then we also now offer solid options. So if you've seen shampoo bars, conditioner bars, laundry tabs, so really products that are plastic free and also much smaller compared to their fellow products. Because of these options, so thanks to our entire community who has been purchasing these products in 2021, we've been able to save over 1 million plastic bottles from going to landfills.
If you want to learn more a bit about our key competitors, so the main competitor here in Canada is Attitude, because they are also offering refill option and solid options. We have 3 main competitors in the US, and why they are competitors is because they have a bigger marketing budget than us, but we really differentiate ourselves with our unique sales proposition.
So taking us back a little bit to the outset of our company, at first, with regards to our marketing, we were faced with 2 important factors. So first of all, we were telling our customers that our products were unscented, and then we were telling them, you need to refill it. So even back then, we were faced with the fact that people didn't even think eco-friendly products worked. So we really had to base our marketing off of a lot of education. So that was literally all we would do. When we launched the Unscented Company in 2016, our goal then was really to make our products more accessible, to make refilling more accessible, because that's where we saw the opportunity to have the most impact. So we were talking about refilling at home, refilling store, reusing your bottles. In 2019, we shifted a little bit where we started doing a lot of research on what would kind of be the future of refilling. Like there's no end goal in sustainability. You can always do better. So we started developing these plastic-free solid options where we found that across our supply chain, we were having a smaller carbon footprint. We did not need to ship these 10-kilogram refill boxes via web, and there was no plastic at all. So we really saw a lot of opportunity. Moving towards the future today and beyond, this is really where our company is focused. We really don't see the need for any more plastic packaging. And instead of talking about saving plastic bottles, we're now going to be talking about saving water, and plastic will be out for us. Our current distribution, so we're a little bit different from Ian and Chrissy's company, where we really started off in retail. So we're already distributed in more than 5,000 stores across North America. This represents today 49% of our sales. On the e-com side, we do have our own website, which is unscentedco.com. Right now, it's representing 15% of our sales. And then we do sell through partner retailers like Costco, Amazon. Here in Canada, we have well.ca, and we're working on some new marketplaces as well. So it's a really 50% shift, which means we also have to manage our time kind of helping all of these channels come to life. And then we also are in large accounts such as Loblaws and in more natural stores as well. We do have representation covered in Canada and the US, and we do have a brand new 3PL warehouse in the US, which is really our goal this year is to actually expand into the US market. So as you can see from our pitch, we're good in Canada, but now we're ready for the US. So why the Unscented Company? So 5 main reasons that we see. First of all, we are an exclusively unscented and innovative product line. Second of all, studies show that unscented and natural products are part of a really high growth market. Number 3, the consumers are demanding products that really will help them lower their plastic footprint. We think that everyone is tired of plastic. We want to do our part. We want to do something, and we want to be more zero waste. So we're really there to help our consumers do that. Also, our customers are really loyal. So we do have a returning customer rate of 41% on our website. And lastly, we feel like partnering with the Unscented Company is really an opportunity for our partners to position themselves as leaders in this movement to eliminate single-use plastic packaging. So we feel that the market is ready and the momentum is now, and we cannot wait to hear your questions. Thank you so much.
Lena, yeah, and thank you so much for sharing that. I just saw like an astonishing fact on your website as well. Like you guys have saved about 1.1 million plastic bottles from going into waste, like through refillable options. So that's amazing. Judges have some questions for you guys as well. So we're gonna start off with Nicole.
We can't hear you.
Oh, there we go. I'm really excited about what you guys are doing. I think when it comes to sustainability, I personally always get really excited when there's an option to go ahead and like refill. So like, for example, I know Organics goes ahead and they offer refillable solutions for like their products and their serums and their face creams. So that's always like a really satisfying thing to take advantage of the customer. So I love that you guys are approaching that. I'm curious. So you mentioned that you're in other resellers like Costco in brick and mortar locations, but are you doing that online anywhere?
Yeah, you mean like, so we are on Costco.ca and Costco.com right now. We're on Amazon.ca and we're working on launching on Amazon.com as well. And we are also on their online portals. It's just that we don't have access to exactly, for example, Loblaws in store and Loblaws online or Canadian Tire. We don't have access. They don't want to give us access to how much is selling online versus in store.
Oh, I see. So you can't necessarily see the distribution between where it's selling. You can only see the general revenue from that retailer.
Absolutely. Exactly. Yeah.
Got it.
Which
Okay.
is unfortunate, but this is what happens when you don't have your own stores.
Something to consider for sure. So I love that you went ahead and mentioned some of your top competitors. Yeah. Given that it's pretty fierce competition in the unscented detergent space, I'm curious, what's your current strategy for customer acquisition to help encroach on a little bit more of that market share?
Yeah, so we are really we know our competitors, but we feel like there's a lot of space in the market, and we're really focused on selling our story, our mission, our brand. Anyone can make an unscented soap. So our formulas or anything like this, our bottles, there's nothing that specific about that end. So what we're doing is we're really also always putting forward our companies. So we are working with, Pierre-Anne is working a lot with the community. So the products are in restaurants. We participate in events where people get to know the products, get to know the brands, and then they can see them online through advertising, and then they can see them in store as well. So we're just trying to be a bit everywhere to stay top of mind.
Mm-hmm. And what sort of returns on ad spend are you guys seeing so far?
We have so far we have a ROAS of $17.66. So it's pretty high. Yeah, but just so you know, we just started to do social media ads, really more into details for the last year.
So this is more on social media platforms.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, and Google.
And Google.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, everyone.
Hi there. Congrats on all your success. How do you think about competition on Amazon and expansion there? Where is your focus on that, and how do you think about expansion to marketplaces, Amazon, Target, anywhere else through distribution?
Yeah, to be 100% honest, right now, Amazon for us, we're really working on brand awareness. So 1 out of 2 people are making an order on Amazon every day. What we want to be is we want to be there. We want people to find the Unscented Company, but we want to drive them kind of to our own channel, unscentedco.com, which is more profitable than the Amazon right now. So we do have a store, we're set up, but our focus is really a brand awareness kind of strategy. Throughout other marketplaces like the Walmart or the Target, it's tough right now because our products are really heavy and we're in a mainstream market, so pricing needs to be competitive. So we're more focused on either our own channel or smaller marketplaces like well.ca or more niche marketplaces, which have been working really well.
Great. And how do you think about capturing that customer through packaging and bringing them back to your D2C channel? If you're acquiring them on Amazon or somewhere else, how do you today bring them back to you?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
So if I buy on Amazon today,
yeah,
how do you, what will I see? What will that experience be like? I'm not sure which program you are on Amazon, but I'll assume the worst that you're not getting the customer data back if you're doing fulfillment through them. So how are you messaging to the customer to buy through your D2C and coming back to you?
Yeah, so we're selling them. So if you go on our Amazon store, you'll kind of be in our brand environment, which is what we're really controlling through the store. So we're really trying to spread our message, talk about refills, talk about solid products, and drive them back to our store. So we do, but we don't really have control. That's a good question because we don't really have control to talk to them afterwards. But yeah, it's a tough one.
Thank you. That was it.
Thank you.
Hey, Helena and Pierre-Anne. It was really interesting to see your experience throughout Canada and America. I'm based here in New Zealand, and I actually did a little bit of work in a similar, along a similar vein for the last few years, developing natural cleaning sprays and body care products. And one of the challenges that I found in this experience was that balancing the effectiveness of the product with the truly vetted sustainability of the supply chain, it can be really challenging. And I'd really love to know how you approach the sources of your ingredients. You mentioned that you source locally from, I'm assuming that's a Canadian importer and distributor of the ingredients. How often are you finding the manufacturers are changing? And aside from reviewing the MSDS sheets, do you have practices or processes in place to make sure that the environmental impacts tracked from source to end use?
Yeah, you're touching on a great point, because the ingredients is an industry which is lacking a lot of transparency still. we have the chance to be working with contract manufacturers locally, and we do have someone in-house in R&D, which is controlling every ingredient going into our products. So we do have the MSDS, but we are in contact to make sure our choice of ingredients is going into our products, and they're not kind of making changes when the prices go down. So we do have a lot of control over that and getting the information and making sure it has the right certifications. But yeah, it's really a tough one because efficiency is huge, and sometimes there are some new ingredients on the market that are really exciting, but there hasn't been a lot of testing with them. So we want to make sure also it's safe, biodegradable, safe for the planet, but also safe for the skin and safe for our customers. And Unscented really helps us do that because we have a minimum number of ingredients in our products because there are no fragrances.
Definitely, and it's great that being unscented, you appeal to the really wide market of people that have allergies to these fragrances, and to do with entering new markets. Do you have how do you approach the compliance challenges of making sure that you're up to regulatory standards?
Yeah, so we did build the company to go into the US, so that's really not an issue. We've had the consultants help us for sure, but for the US, we're fine. It's still a huge market for us that is completely untapped right now. In terms of new markets, we do have a distributor in Dubai right now, so we go kind of one by one, but we really want to solidify our presence in the US before.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Hey there.
Hi.
Thank you so much for the presentation. It's really, really impressive what you built. I love the brand. Love what you stand for. It's incredible. I have a couple of questions as it relates to both acquisition and then also as it relates to your current distribution channels and how that can scale. So for the first, I'm curious, what is really your most effective channel, and how have you successfully really captured organic customers in the past? And then how has that, really, how are you looking at that into the future as it, specifically in contrast to paid ads, given it sounds like you just started with the paid ads?
I can talk a bit, but I'd like to give some space to Pierre after, but that's a great question. For sure, our website is our greatest channel. It's the one we're most excited about because it's like our own store. We can control it. We can talk to our customers. We have access to the data. We can send emails. We can do tests. We can do what we want. With regards to our other channels like Costco.ca, for example, or Costco.com, it's such an old school dinosaur where you can't really do anything. You don't have the right information. Even changing a photo is tricky, so it's not as agile. But with our own website is really where we are putting a lot of effort. We did just start ads so we're not like a D2C company that kind of launched, but we more built it to have a strong foundation. So with kind of like the mix of everything we're doing, this is what was bringing people to our website. So we're part of really a community here in Canada where we're actively participating in the B Corp movement and in everything else that we do. So Sharon, if you have something to add on, go ahead.
I think you covered pretty much everything, but I will say that like for sure, like attracting people, I know like we have a really big return customer rate, so this is something really good for us. But like just like something nice, we are seeing like really big and beautiful result with our like digital campaigns and digital ads. So this is something that I think will really help us to grow more in the next year.
Amazing. Good to hear. And then, as kind of on a similar note, just considering that exciting growth that you're anticipating, as well as given the sort of tight control it seems as though you have over your manufacturing processes and your distribution, how are you thinking about scaling that? When in a world where when you grow, 10x over the next couple of years.
I mean, it's really exciting because our goal is to save the most plastic bottles possible, have the least impact, and at the same time, the more our products are everywhere. So in comparison, the more our products are available, the more we have an impact. Because if a family is choosing Unscented Co. at Costco instead of our competitor, for us, that has a huge impact. So definitely, we see a huge amount of space to grow, and we're just really looking for kind of funding to spread our message and to create more brand awareness.
Awesome. Congrats on all the success. Thank you so much for
Thank
answering.
you.
Thank you.
Right, Helena. Yeah, and thank you so much, and thank you for the judges for the questions. Now, as the judges look at all the pitches and see what the winner is, we'll just wait for a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, I'll bring you on. Ian, Chrissy, are you guys there as well? So thank you all so much. One thing I wanted to highlight, I've been in the sustainable space myself, so I really admire what each one of you is doing for the planet, for people, like all over, the impact you guys are generating. It's amazing. And for everyone tuning in, please check out companies, check out Parker Clay, check out Love's project. Mother's Day is around the corner. You guys might find something for your mothers and for your home good needs, like, changing up your cleaning supplies with better alternatives. Check out Unscented Company. So while we wait, I think one thing I wanted to ask, like, we can go one by one here. Like, why is sustainability important to you guys? Chrissy, we can start with you. Oh, you're on mute.
Oh, yes. It's important because, we only have one planet. And so really we need to be taking care of it and being stewards of the planet to be able to make sure it's, we can continue to live on it, and as well as for future generations. And I think it's, when you can make life and sustainable for everyone, and it just quality of life and happiness improves. So
amazing. Ian.
I have 5 kids, and I am so excited to be at some point down the road, not too soon, a grandparent. But I want to see an incredible world for them to live in, and for them to take the work we're doing and make it even better and stronger.
Amazing. Yeah, and Helena.
I will say for me, it's like being sustainable will allow me to continue to enjoy the outdoor and to continue to enjoy my life on the planet. Like it's pretty important that we take care of it. Then yeah.
Yeah, no, amazing.
Yeah. I think for us, as companies, we have no choice, to be honest. Like there is we all have a responsibility by putting products on the market for their impact on the planet, and there is no perfectly sustainable product. Every company, we all have an impact, even if we all make great products. And we need to remember that there's no perfect product, but at least we're trying to create one that leaves the less impact possible. And I think that's the most, and creates the most benefit possible for the community. So I think that's what we need to keep on doing.
Definitely. And it's all about like better alternatives to what we're purchasing already.
Exactly.
I'm sure some people tuning in here now, checking out the websites too. So again, thank you guys so much today. Like, it was an inspiration hearing all your stories, how far you've come, and the change you continue to make. In terms of the prizes, like, how would that like impact your business? Like, I know we went over the prizes early on the call. So like, how would that help you? Like, Chrissy?
Yeah, so I mentioned it during my talk. I think it'd be great to be able to invest in more production of our new, more eco products that are coming down the line, as well as more data-driven marketing strategies, and also to be able to test some new markets in other trade shows. It'd be great also to get all the help, because we're a very small team. Like, we've been able to grow this much just as a small company, but like if we had more help, like what could our impact look like from there?
All right, perfect. Ian, same question to you. Like, how would this like prize like help you guys out? You've grown so much over the past few years, and I've had like the privilege to see you guys grow a bit. But like, how would this help you guys overall?
Yeah, I want to open up a few more tables and machines in our new factory, and be able to hire more women to the team.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, and Lena, to you guys as well. Same question.
Yeah, for sure. Go for it, Kevin.
Yeah, we were talking about that like yesterday. I think like we said it a lot in our pitch, but like building our community, sharing our story, and like this is something that will help us to grow and share the positive message and the vision and the mission of the company. But and like growing means creating jobs, and like this is something really important for Annie's too, to create jobs locally and eventually in the other regions that we will
Yeah, definitely. In your case, it's like
develop.
the more you guys grow, the more impact you can create all over.
Yeah.
And yeah, the judges have a winner as well. So I'm going to bring them all on to the main stage now. And Dane, will you be able to announce the winner today?
Absolutely. Yes. Panelists, thank you all so much for the time, for putting together such amazing presentations. It was really great to see everyone and all the hard work they've been putting in and the success they've been having. So it's quite inspiring. Everyone had every company had their own merits and had a fantastic benefits and all the value that they're bringing to the world. And so it was a tough decision of what we were kind of deliberating on backstage. And so I just wanted to kind of bring that up front is something that we wanted to highlight, as everyone really had an amazing job and is could have gone either way. But we do have a winner that we kind of came to from consensus, so we want to share that with you now. So the winner that we want to announce, and then I'll go into a quick bit of why. Yes, drum roll please. Is Ian with Parker Clay. So I want to give a round of applause. Great
well
work.
done.
Great work.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Quick background, a couple points in terms of why, and then I'll pass it on to the next. Pass it back to Ian if he has any words, and then back to Murtaza. But in terms of why, we felt like given your strong LTV, your repurchase rate, and then coupled with your really low returns rate, and there being a strong product market fit, that this grant could really be magnified. And could do a lot of good and sort of on a multiples basis beyond just the grant itself. And so taking that grant and then multiplying it into a lot of success is sort of that opportunity for impactful use of funds is kind of how we were thinking about it. But everyone again had a fantastic presentation and company they're building. But congratulations, Ian.
I love that. Thank you guys so much. Really humbled by that, and congratulations to Love This Project and Unscented Co. I mean, you guys are doing incredible work. And I would just say this, that there's an African proverb that we use at Parker Clay, and it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And we say we go together. And I think that's what we want as a company, is that, look, it takes all of us to do this right. And so, I would truly celebrate all of us being successful, from every company represented, as well as the other, judges, panelists. Like, we got to do it together, guys. So I hope to continue to connect with y'all and find ways to do that, to go together.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ian, for those words. And yeah, like Ian said, like, you guys are doing amazing work, and it's amazing to see like all the impact that you've created and will continue to make in the future. So thank you so much to all our finalists and participants for coming in for ClearPitch for Earth Day, and to all our judges taking time and participating in our ClearPitch as well. So I think, yeah,